Imagine if you'd been impacted by a major storm, hoping the government, the one that you send your taxpayer funds to, will aid in your recovery.
Who controls the media space and which stories are told and which stories are believed and which stories land? This is a story that the Daily Wire reported, that houses with Trump signs outside weren't receiving FEMA aid. Now, the New York Times and legacy media have pushed back on this, but think about how many times in legacy media you read a story, then under analysis and under scrutiny, it's proven that that story was false or fake news. What we're probably going to experience now, and indeed what I'm already experiencing as someone whose content is up in a variety of places, like YouTube, for example, is that media spaces that were being conveniently regulated in accordance with the propaganda imperatives of the globalists are now experiencing a little buckle and flex as a new power dynamic emerges. YouTube, even just a couple of weeks ago, probably felt happy strangling any content they felt was adversarial to their preferred candidate's message. But now that's changing. So let's have a look at this Daily Wire story that FEMA were skipping over houses that had Trump signs outside as if it's some sort of Old Testament Red Cross on the door moment and it's the angel of death. Let's have a look.
Breaking tonight, Republican lawmakers now confirming a report that says after Hurricane Milton, a FEMA supervisor told disaster relief workers in Florida to avoid homes with Trump signs in their yards.
I mean, if the Trump signs stayed up during the hurricane, is that a further omen of the results that were yet to come? I mean, it's a hurricane with the sign still up.
FEMA says it believes the incident is isolated, and the supervisor who gave the anti-Trump order is no longer in that role. The senior national correspondent Kevin Cork is live in D.C. with what we're learning about this tonight. Kevin, good evening.
Evening, Trace. Quite a story. Imagine if you'd been impacted by a major storm, hoping the government, the one that you send your taxpayer funds to, will aid in your recovery, only to discover that if you support Donald Trump, they're going to ignore you altogether. And that's apparently what happened in the great state of Florida, where a FEMA supervisor allegedly told workers in a message to avoid homes advertising Trump as they canvassed Lake Placid, Florida, to identify residents who could qualify for federal aid. And tonight, credit where credit is due, that FEMA official has been removed from her role by the agency.
I'd say that the media have to take some responsibility for that, for escalating tensions to a point of such hysteria where a campaign sign outside a door was seen as some sort of dark imperative, some dark symbol of malcontentment. Like, really? Would you imagine that would have been so divisive in election campaigns in the 70s and 80s? Let me know. I weren't in your country. Let me know in the comments and the chat. The media have continually reported that Trump's a Nazi and that Trump supporters are garbage. And so in the end, you get to a point where perhaps understandably, emergency workers say, maybe there's no room at the inn for these guys. Is it that different too from during the pandemic period when it was widely reported that people that hadn't been vaccinated oughtn't receive medical assistance?
In a statement to Fox News Digital, a FEMA spokesperson said the agency is deeply disturbed, noting the official who gave the instruction was given no direction to tell teams to avoid these homes. Quote, while we believe this is an isolated incident, we have taken measures to remove the employee from their role and are investigating the matter to prevent this from happening ever again.
Here's a denial of that story and then a confirmation of it. Trump's false claim about the federal response to Hurricane Helene. The former president falsely accused the Biden administration of spending disaster funding on migrants and neglecting areas that voted Republican. FEMA fires employee for telling Milton relief workers to skip houses with Trump signs. Okay, so it's one individual. Maybe it's not as bad as all that. The war against free speech is in full swing. We are the vanguard, bravely fighting back. Rumble's the home of this channel, Stay Free, and a leader in defending the fundamental human right of free speech. They've joined X to sue a cartel of advertisers and ad agencies who conspire to block ad revenue from going to the platforms. Recently, they've launched Rumble Premium. This, I think, is going to be a game changer for all of us. It's an ad-free viewing experience with great perks for viewers and creators. Rumble Premium will give you the ability to dive into your favorite content on your mobile or desktop or smart TV and savor every uninterrupted second of my content. Why don't you upgrade to Rumble Premium today? Support my free speech and the free speech of other content creators on this platform. Please go to Rumble now, rumble.com/premium. And if you use the code BRAND, you'll save $10 and Rumble will be aware that our stream is creating great converts. So that's rumble.com/premium and do use the code BRAND to save $10. Anyway, there's a link there at the bottom of the screen now. We're posting it in the chat. Join up. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.